Where the action is.
What did Chomsky say anything about Cotton's op-ed?
He doesn't think it should have been withdrawn.
He doesn't think it should have been withdrawn.
No, he doesn't. He's not, he's that's not where his politics are. He doesn't think it should have been withdrawn. I think that, the Cotton thing, though, that's interesting to me is like what the most compelling part of that argument to me was like, did they even read this before the thing got submitted?
Well, no. I mean,
right.
That's why Bennett's out. I mean, he didn't read it.
Right.
And the idea is that, do you have a responsibility on these op-ed pages to do any even like rudimentary fact checking? Or do you just allow someone who's a senator to go out there and use the pages of your newspaper to lie? From my perspective, it's like, no, you don't. There's no compulsion any more than, the paper has a responsibility to print what I say.
I mean, on the other hand, I gotta say though, like it makes sense because we're in media conversations, but the speed at which that whole thing became a drama about the New York Times editorial page versus, I'd like to know if a United States senator who is a serious presidential contender wants to physically attack protesters.
You know what you do if you're the New York Times?
Absolutely.
You do a reported piece on it.
Absolutely.
And
you don't let, intelligence people and military people go on background so easily and help shape the story, by the way, which is a bigger structural critique of the New York Times, which I think people should be much more invested in. I think him writing that piece, I appreciate it. I wanted to, even down to the Tom Wolfe citation. It was like, wow, I really get this guy's mindset. I know the enemy here.
Yes.
And he's going to run for president.
He's done that too. And what I guess, and I wonder also, did Chomsky weigh in on what Twitter has been doing to Tom Cotton?
Here's
Tom Cotton.
Wait. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Welcome to the story that just won't go away. After his New York Times op-ed titled "Send in the Troops" caused an uproar among staffers, an editor lost his job. He resigned as the editorial page editor. Senator Tom Cotton now says the newspaper isn't the only one who was trying to censor him, and maybe is. A new FoxNews.com op-ed, he writes this: "The Twitter thought police also targeted me for expressing an opinion shared at that time by the majority of Americans." Joining us now with more, Arkansas GOP Senator Tom Cotton. Senator, Twitter threatened to stop your account in its tracks?
Yeah, Brian, that's exactly right. I can reveal now for the first time what happened a couple weeks ago. I'd come on this program a couple Mondays ago, and we talked about the rioting and the looting and the need, if necessary, to use military to back up our police where they were outnumbered by these rioters and looters and anarchists. Apparently, that didn't sit well with the Twitter thought police. So one of their low-level employees in Washington, D.C. just contacted my office out of the blue and said, "You have to delete these tweets in 30 minutes or we're going to permanently lock your account." Now, we asked for an explanation of why that was. It was not really forthcoming. They cited a policy that didn't explain or apply to my situation. We sent them back some clear evidence of my meaning on Twitter, and then they said, well, we're going to consider this. And we waited them out. We called their bluff for 30 minutes. They didn't lock down my account, and then within about 2 hours, they finally got back to us and said, okay, you can keep your post up. But it was a very Star Chamber-like procedure, I have to say, in which they were just calling us out of the blue, demanding that we censor my own tweets or that they would censor my entire account.
So, in other words, they actually gave you an opportunity to respond, unlike in every instance, like in every video that I put out last week is demonetized. There's no opportunity to respond to YouTube, that you have people who get their accounts locked from them every single day across the spectrum, left, right, maybe not center, but maybe center. Who knows? So in other words, they afforded you a privilege and an opportunity that no one else gets.
I'm sure that he's super concerned about Twitter screwing around with Nicolas Maduro's account and other foreign heads of state that the United States is mounting coups on. I mean, this is one of the things I found so I appreciate so much about Chomsky is like, yeah, I think there's principles at stake in some of these things, and I think they're really serious. But just the endless, like, none of the people talking about this stuff believe in this stuff. I mean, don't forget the whole context of him whining about this is because he's calling
to
unleash federal troops to crush people exercising their democratic rights. I mean, it's got to be like 2% of the population that actually holds firm on this stuff.
Right.
And we should. But the deployment of it by a actual existing authoritarian, like a thoroughgoing, full-fledged authoritarian. That's what Tom Cotton is. Tom Cotton is a actual authoritarian.
I've been saying for a long time.
And he's going to run for president.
Yes.
And the great thing about it is that he has, the charisma of
he's trash.
He's like a sort of laundromat guy who steals your clothes or something. I mean, I don't even know. He's repulsive.
It's hard to know.
Going out on television and saying,
well, look,
it was like the Star Chamber, the look, and don't censor his tweets. He's a friggin' senator. Look, I want, especially Twitter as a platform. There is something terrifying and clarifying about knowing that, these people's sort of inner monologue, even mediated by social media PR. But like, you are going to talk about the Star Chamber while you're literally calling for a form of martial law on demonstrators? Are you effing kidding? I mean, of course he's not kidding.